Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game from Scratch with news from the most generous company in game development, and that is Epic Games. Now, if you're a regular to this channel, you know that the first Tuesday of every month, Epic gives away a number of assets from the Unreal Engine marketplace for that month. You buy them in that month, you get to keep them forever. On February 2021, they didn't give away a permanently free item. Normally what they do is 5 items available for the month, and then 1 gets added to the permanently free collection. And normally when this happens, it means there's going to be some kind of a giveaway further in the month. Well, again, if you're a regular to this channel, you probably saw that they gave away, Quixel did a tutorial and medieval environment, and I thought, okay, well, that was this month's giveaway, but no, oh no, I was totally wrong. There was actually a huge giveaway, and that's what we were covering today. Today, we got the assets from the City of Brass and The Vagrant. So we're going to come back to the Unreal Engine blog, and we're going to look at what City of Brass and The Vagrant are in just a second, but first, let's get some hands-on eye candy going on. So what you see here, this is one of the demo levels from City of Brass. This was created from one of the BioShock developers. It's set in like an Arabian Nights type setting. This is one of the sample levels available. So obviously all of the assets and stuff you see here are part of the pack. Now, one of the questions we always get is, can I use this in my own game? And since this one is provided by Epic Games, the answer is yes, as long as your game is written using Unreal Engine. So this is one of the demo levels here. Let's go look at another one. So we've got a number of different maps available here. So this one here is, I think this is streets. So let's go ahead and take a look at the gardens now. There you see another level of things, very nice looking, and then there's another one for the palace as well. Now, in addition to the environments, we also have, let me just go back up one. All right, this setup is not conducive for navigation. Let's go here to content, and we also have the enemies. We also have another one for props that I don't think I actually downloaded. In terms of enemies, you got a number of different enemies in here from the game itself, fully rigged and ready to go. So, for example, here is an archer enemy. So we can drop one of those into the scene like so. There you can see it in action. And there it is. On top of that, we also have a number of other ones. Let's go here for energy. I think corpse, we have some. Yeah, we got some animated ones for corpse. So we got a number of different corpse attacks here. So let's say, let's do an attack right in there as well. So we got fully animated characters as well. So there are all of the various different creatures and enemies from the thing, as well as props and environmental designs. But having just one thing, nah, that's not good enough. What we actually got is 2 games. Now, the other one is going to be a lot less useful for most people because they're not really kind of assets that you could drop into your game, but what they are is from the game The Vagrant. And what this shows you is how to create a 2.5D style game using Unreal Engine. So you can notice here, instead we have things like flipbooks for backgrounds, various different chapters here. So, but we also come back here. Let's go ahead and look at one of their maps. So here is the village. We got a number of different areas there. So let's go to the seashore, for example. We won't save our project. All right, so here we go. So this is the Vagrant seashore. So seriously, the waves coming in, and then the layers being put together. So you kind of get an idea of how 2D games work. That's kind of a poor example. Let's go to the overcast windmill level instead. So here you see once again. So these are fake 3D via 2D. So everything here is an image, like so. So you're getting all of the various different graphics and sprites and stuff that were used, but you can also see how their levels were composed. So if you ever wondered how do you actually do 2 or 2.5D in the Unreal Game Engine, well, this is essentially how. It's kind of like the prop design on a thematic play. It's kind of the same sort of idea. And then we've got a number of interior shots here. For example, here is the blacksmith shop. And again, a lot of it is just straight out flat images. Like I said, the Vagrant stuff is probably going to be a lot less useful overall than the City of Brass, but it does give you a bit of insight into how a level like this is put together. We've also got some blueprints here that kind of showcase how everything was put together here. Flipbook controlling it and everything else. Not really exciting one. But if you want to jump in and take a look at how, again, a 2D style game was actually created, Well, that's what this project showcases. So those are the two projects here. We've got The Vagrant and we've got City of Brass. The one that, again, most people are going to probably be interested in are City of Brass. Oh, I did save the props. All right, so here we go. So do I have an overview? Yeah, I do. So we also have an entire collection of props to go along with the enemies' environments from City of Brass. Basically, you've got almost the entirety of the assets from that commercial game, which is impressive because City of Brass isn't that old. I think it came out in 2 years ago. It's really not that old at all. So I'll just let this load for a second, even though one typical useful progress bar went from 0 to 100%. All right, so we don't need to see all the shaders in. We'll let those load in the background. But here you can see an idea. These are all the various different props that are used. And these are probably the area that's going to be most useful to the majority of you, especially because they're more universal. The thing about City of Brass is it has a very distinct art style, so kind of meshing it with your own is going to be a bit challenging, whereas if it was more going for like the realism vibe, it would probably be easier to drop these into your game if you use that style. But they have kind of a cartoony edge to them. But even then, like if you need a barrel for your game, there's a barrel. It's quite simple, and you're going to find it under props. So this is just a map showcasing everything. Instead, you go into meshes, and then there's your barrel. So if you have your own game, you can basically import in this barrel, drop your barrel into your world, and there you have a barrel. Barrels and barrels and barrels of fun. So that is kind of the idea here. Let's just kind of keep stacking barrels until I run out of excitement over this subject. All right, let's just keep going. All right, I'm bored. So that's the idea here. A number of different props, number of different environments, a number of different enemies from City of Brass, and then a number of the assets and the levels from the 2.5D game, The Vagrant. So let's go back to the webpage. Here we go. All right, so we got the announcement here. Epic Games is pleased to welcome City of Brass and The Vagrant to the Unreal Engine Marketplace Collection, Unreal Engine initiative that brings free, high-quality content to all creators. The 5 new packs join the growing list of game content alongside of What Remains of Edith Finch, Paragon, and Infinity Blade. So Uppercut Games made City of Brass. We'll get back to that one in a second. OTK made the 200 beautifully hand-painted textures for their action RPG, The Vagrant. So some details about what you're getting with City of Brass is over 500 console-quality meshes, including garden, palace, city, street tile sets, vibrant rugs, vases, and other thematic decor, 700 colorful textures. Again, there is a definite art style there that'll be hard to mesh in, and 14 stylized skeleton characters and nearly 50 animations. The Vagrant, on the other hand, comes with 200 stylized textures, mix and matchable sprites for villages, forests, and battlefields, excuse me, and preset level generation. So those are the two products there. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, the first one, the game City of Brass, is actually very positive reviewed. Came out, so about 2.5 years ago, May 4th, 2018. Guess that's a little bit over. And then The Vagrant, also very positive reviewed, came out in July of 2018. So both of these are actually fairly current games. And if you're interested in either, both, as you can see, are obviously available up on Steam. And then, obviously, they are available on the Epic Games Marketplace. You can get through the Unreal Engine launcher, or you can get to these by going to the Epic Marketplace. Go to free, and these are part of not the permanently free collection. These are under the Marketplace collection. And you're going to notice City of Brass environments, props, and enemies, and then Vagrant background, construction 1 and 2. For some strange reason, though, when I load this one gives me a collision. So it says, okay, this is already installed. Would you like to over-install it? So just be aware you're going to run into that. I think this one has some file folders that are also in this one, or vice versa. So just be aware of that. Just say yes, let it overwrite, and then you'll get both. And then, as you can see, we've also got from earlier games a number of levels from Edith Finch. And then early on, Infinity Blade and all the various different Paragon characters were added as well. So it's a huge collection of assets from actual Unreal Engine published games that are for sale on various different stores out there. And yes, you can use these in your commercial titles as long as you are using Unreal Engine to develop your game. In this particular case, if you are using the Godot engine or the Unity engine or CryEngine or Lumberyard or whatever else, you are SOL. These are not for you. These are just for Unreal Engine users, but it's exceptionally generous on their behalf, and there's some really cool stuff here for sure. Especially the prop stuff that could easily be integrated and used in just about any environment for the most part. Even meshing the art style, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, not so hard. The characters you're going to recognize really fast. And the bits that you use to make the levels themselves definitely can be used too. But you might, again, run into a bit of a clash of the art style. The Vagrant stuff, I'm not too sure how useful that would be. It's very much their particular art style. There are a number of different textures and images to work from, so got all their various different background textures. So some of these things you may be able to use, like the sky images, various different things from here. But I don't think this one is going to be that useful to most people, because it's basically just straight out sprites. Now, some of these, I guess you may be able to find a use for these in your 2D style game, as long as your art style matches their art style. But that's kind of what we were looking here, a 2D sprite game with a 2.5D kind of implementation. Good for a reference for sure. And then, of course, the City of Brass stuff. Again, it's amazing how much stuff Epic Games actually gives away to developers. And I ask the same question I ask every month. Are you getting tempted? Are you thinking about switching over to Epic Games? Or at the very least, are you hoarding these things as they are released? The nice thing here is, since these are permanently free, no reason to hoard it. In theory, they're going to stay free forever, so you can grab them whenever you want. But it's just staggering how much stuff is available for free for people that use Unreal Engine. So let me know what you think. Comments down below, and I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.